If I were to give each of you a checklist and said complete these tasks and I will give you your dream car personally, you would take that checklist and cross off everything as soon as you humanly can. And that's the exact method that I'm going to be showing each of you right now. And it's a way you can get your dream car regardless of your income, expenses, and so on. My name's Zora and I'm 18 years old and I was able to buy my dream car, my Audi RS7. I'm not a financial guru. I'm not going to tell you how you can get rich. I wouldn't consider myself rich, but I do know how to get your dream car with one simple principle. For the record, I don't have any course to sell. I'm just coming on here to show you exactly what I did. So if you're a young man like me who's stressing yourself out over trying to get a car that a 40-year-old CEO typically buys, then I'll show you that you can do it. Because I've seen a lot of people lately who think they need to finish their university education, get a proper job, budget hard, and then finance it. This is not the truth at all. It might be a better financial recommendation. I know there's a lot of you who are like me and would do absolutely anything they can to get their dream car. I'm going to be going over 3 principles that you can follow in order to do so. Number 1 is going to be going back to what I talked about with a checklist. Now anyone can create a checklist. I'm going to explain 2 hypothetical situations. Let's say person A is Brian and person B is Ryan. Brian works a minimum wage part-time job and is taking home $1.5 to $2 grand a month. He doesn't have any other expenses, but usually blows his money on shoes and clothes, going out to eat, and going out with his friends. So he takes home $400 or $500 a month. There's also situation B with Ryan, where he takes home around $2 grand a month, but all of that money goes to his parents, which is completely admirable and respectable. So I'm going to be going over both of those situations and telling you how you can create a checklist to get your car as soon as it's checked off. I'm sure a lot of you know how to make a balance sheet. Your income, your expenses, and then how much you take home. First thing we're going to do, and number 1 on your checklist, is going to be to completely cut eating out, completely cut going out to spend money, and cut spending money on unnecessary clothes and shoes. I personally had to do this, and you can see the condition my shoes are in. You can see here while my friends were out partying, I was in the office trying to make money. And did it pay off in my first few years? Absolutely not. In 2022, I thought I was able to get that car that year, but it didn't work out. In 2023, I thought so as well, but it didn't work out. And in 2024, I finally was able to work it out. So those will be the first 3 principles on your checklist. Once you check those off, for person A, Brian, he's almost set at this point to rack up almost $24,000 a year and be ready in a year and a half to buy potentially the dream F80 M3 that he wants. Now, after this point where you buy your M3 and your Brian, you don't have to fully cut your expenses, because now at this point you have your $2 grand fluid for potentially $800 on clothes or whatever else you would like to spend it on, and the rest for gas, insurance, and so on. Now, situation B, let's say you're Ryan, and all of your income goes towards helping your family. The main thing on your checklist is going to be to get another source of income, whether that's starting your own business or taking on another part-time job. Both of these options work great. Now, there's a common misconception when I say starting your own business. This doesn't mean a dropshipping business that's bringing you $50K a month like other people say, but potentially an agency or anything else that can scrape you an extra $1 to $2 grand per month. Even if you're getting an extra $1K per month, that translates to an extra $12K a year, which can shorten the time it takes to get your dream car by potentially years. Now, with that second source of income, even if your first source of income is going straight to your family or whatever expenses you may have, you're now in the situation that Brian's in. And now you're able to save and get to that point where you can buy your dream car. Now, to a lot of you, this is a no-brainer. This is common sense and this is just math. And absolutely, it's math. But the reason I came on here to teach this is because a lot of you don't even understand that it's possible to do so. People see that I have an RS7 and assume that I have some 5-figure a month business. And most people with part-time jobs bringing home $1 to $2 grand a month think it's negligible money and want to just blow it on whatever else because of that. Now, that was a lot of information, so let's narrow it down on how to specifically build your checklist. You all know yourselves better than I do, so the first thing on your checklist is going to be something you can do to reduce your personal expense. If you know you go to drink a lot, or you spend tons of money on bubble tea or drinks, that'll be the first thing you write for yourself, to cut it out completely. Number 2 would be to do your best to obtain an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And next to that, what I did personally is I put in brackets the amount of time that would shave off in getting my RS7. And that was enough to motivate me to continue to search for an extra income. Number 3, personally on my checklist, I prefer to put a counter to see how far I'm going. One thing that motivated me was setting my goal to every 10,000. Once I got to 10,000, I knew I was a quarter way there. Then I would change the goal to 20,000, but you're already 50% there to that goal. And guys, it might seem like a lot, but before you know it, you're going to be right there. And it's very idealistic. This is considering nothing else goes wrong in your life, and so on. 2 more extremely key principles I want to go over. Number 2, you're going to have to cut some people out of your life. There's a lot of people who are offended by you going for your dreams. Because you working towards your goals calls them out and shows them that they're not doing anything. And they're going to try to work against you, whether it's conscious or subconscious. And that's just a part of the journey. But remember, those aren't the people you wanted in your corner anyways. The final principle, and I believe one of the most important, is seeing it happen. Every single night, I would watch Autotop NL's video of his POV drive on an RS7. And every single night, I would see myself in that car, and that was motivation enough for me to go for 3 years straight. Were there down times or times I wish I would just spend that money, or go out, or eat out, and so on? Of course there were. But every single night, I saw myself driving that car, and I understood the happiness and just how worth it would have been in the end, which is what kept me going. If you enjoy this type of content and you're a young man like me who wants to achieve his dream car, consider subscribing and we're going to go through this journey together. Be sure not to miss my regular uploads, where I'm going to talk about more techniques and more things you can do in order to achieve your dream car. And remember to keep dreaming big.